Hello everyone, this is Jimmy Cultist back again with another stealth video. And today we're going to be talking about distractions. How to create them, that is. Now in most stealth games it tends to be some sort of sound-making mechanism, like you toss something, or maybe even you hoot and holler, I don't know. I haven't played many stealth games, so bear with me, but I know this is a thing. We're going to use a stone in our case, as pebbles or things of that nature are fairly common. I guess this environment, maybe, it's less likely. I guess you could have a bolt or something. Something that you think would be easier to pick up. Let's try a bolt. In case that helps your suspension of disbelief. I've heard some people call it suspense of disbelief. I don't know if that's accurate. But a little bolt makes sense. You could probably grab one from somewhere. We're not going to be seeing it much anyway. And really, I could probably work out some kind of camera system for tossing these little babies. But for now, we're just going to test how it collides with the floor and things of that nature. We're going to make it a little bouncy too, because it's kind of nice. And of course we want it to make noise when it hits the ground. And just in case we decide to add any extra effects to this later, I'm going to create a group. Whenever you're creating a projectile, I highly advise that you make it a group, just because sometimes you think of things later, you're like, well, I could add like a speed line effect to this or something. Little stuff like that. And just having a group, all you gotta do is take one one paint fleck, group it with the bolts. Oh, don't do that. Turn off luminoise though, that's a good idea. And color tint amount. But just having a little group that you can put a microchip on and maybe add future effects is good. Good practice. Not sure what we want. Yeah, let's just do this. Well, maybe the gears, that makes more sense. I'm gonna call this bolt. Guess you could label it whatever you want. Distraction. Alright, what's next? Oh yes, we wanted to make noise, so we're going to need some kind of collision sound effect. Let's go to collisions. Those are a bit heavy and loud. I think the chain will work, even though it's technically not probably how a bolt would sound. That's probably better. We want it to be fairly audible to the player because, it's working as a distraction. Add a little echo. Well, not echo, reverberation. Echo is a different subject. Also, let's find our little impact sensor. I'm gonna go ahead and use a node just in case. I find I always need a node for some reason. We'll turn the sensitivity, well, let's leave it at 1.0. We'll see how that goes. That seems good. And we're gonna go ahead, I guess we could use our camera as an example, but I kind of think I would rather not. I think I prefer to use a living character as our example, but basically what you would want is a system where when you throw a distraction, the guard actually pays attention to it. I'm gonna go ahead and create a little camera rig for this. We're probably gonna need it again later, by the way. Not sure if we should have it grouped inside the puppet. Probably should. Make it blue. Go ahead and reduce the detail because no one's going to be seeing this. Make it glow just a little bit. Invisible, non-collidable, low density, ignore gravity, all that good stuff. Low physics too. Now we are going to have to hide this robust collision shape. It should do nicely. And we're just going to add a little camera interface right here. Oops. Could call this aim cam. Now, an easy practice, if you want to set up something of this nature, is just to go into search and look up first person puppet. I find this is just quicker and altogether easier to use this asset that MM has already put out. They have all the right thresholds, they even have the ability to invert the Y-axis, so it's pretty handy and useful just to have that right away. Now we're going to stamp this microchip out here. And we're going to call this just AIM. Open it up. Actually... yeah, actually, we can do this. Okay, I was going to make sure beforehand. And we'll just delete this fellow. Actually, let's scope out before we do that. And here's the invert Y controls. If you want to do that later, you just have to turn this on. And use the right stick local for this. So, let's go find right stick local. Right stick local, not right stick. Wait a minute, that is the same thing. Anyway, let's look at this. And we're gonna pitch our little camera up a notch. Pitch our character up a notch with it. How intriguing. Pitch up. And now we're gonna do the same thing, but pitch down. Now, adding animations to the character, that's like a whole nother can of worms. We are going to maybe put this here to stabilize the, what is this? Oh, linear. Go ahead and make that linear. This helps stabilize and make sure that the camera has an exact center to return to, so you can take it out if you don't like it. I prefer it. I think that just might work. We are going to need some kind of aim button, though. We'll get around to that once we have the camera actually with us. I think that's pretty good. We may alter it later, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. We'll put this here just in case. Same position, alright. Because sometimes when you move things from microchip to microchip, the position changes a little bit. And we're just going to go ahead and take out a little handy selector. And the reason why we put everything in a microchip is in case we want to add more little frills and things in here that we only want to be visible when you're aiming. And if you just put a NOT gate in A, and take out a little node, connect it to the NOT gate, connect it to B. Take the B output and stick it in the power. And I think, let's take a look. What kind of things do we have free? Okay, we've used R1 for something. I don't remember what we used it for, but we're going to undo that because I think it would make a nice aim button. So we got like a camera that we can use. Looks pretty good, pretty good. I think the reticle's a little bit low, but I think this will serve our purpose. Now the one thing I don't like is the camera itself is kind of too slow to zoom in. We want it to be more snappy. We're also going to hide imps just in case. We don't really need that necessarily. I think this is good. Now we have one other issue, which is we need this to only be on when we're in aim mode. So you could just theoretically take this and stick it right in there, and that would work fine. And I might be inclined to add an animation. Toss. This is going to be throwing our screw. We'll make it white, how about? Or gray, whichever signifier you prefer. We're going to use an emitter, and we're going to call it bolt. Ignore apparent velocity, emit once. Lifetime, we'll say 5, I think that's good. We don't need it to be around very long. And we're going to use grid snap to re-angle this. We can even kind of give it a little spin. That way it kind of, you know, seems more believable. And like I said before, this probably isn't going to look very good because he's not got any animation to go with it. We might add an animation if we still have time. If not, I'll do it in post. And let's go ahead, stick this right here, stick the node in. And I'm sure you're familiar with this by now, which is play once. Take out a NOT gate, connect it to the node's power. And we'll get a button for tossing. We'll try square. I don't know if we're going to keep this, but for now it's going to be square. We don't want him to be able to spam screws, so let's just go ahead and put this here so that he has a little bit of, you know, when the switch is hooked up here, it'll prevent us from doing this over and over again. That's a really pathetic throw. Let's try 18. I think that... no, maybe 15. You know, I kind of think I like L1 as the aim button now. Let's try L1 to aim. Where is the aim? Oh yes, it's right here. You have L1 hooked up to something, but I don't know what it is. May have used it for the sidle. And then we'll use R1 to throw instead of square. I just think that's more natural feeling. That might be the opposite, where he has a little too much gusto to that throw. Let's try 9. Now what we would want, ideally, is to create some system where the guard actually turns in the direction the screw is thrown, just temporarily distracting him. So we could try... distraction... I think this works nicely. We're gonna have to program a distracted behavior into our little guard here. We'll put it in behaviors. And we're gonna kind of make it look like he's, you know, startled. Make him look left, you know, and right a little bit. Don't make it too wide of a turn, though, because we don't want to make him, you know, overdo it. And we'll just make him relax again once he's done. Let's see how this works. It is interrupting his other animation, which we actually want, but we want to shut off his other animation so it won't, you know, blend them together. We'll just use a simple gray keyframe, and we'll label it shut. And we're also going to need some kind of detection system so that when he looks around, you know. Let's see, what do we got? Let's try this. Distracted. Stamp out a node. Go ahead and stick it in there in the timeline. I almost wonder if we actually want to use... It might be prudent to use something other than zones. For now we're going to use zones, but... we'll try a zone, see how it works out. Distraction. We're going to make it circular, or radial, cylindrical, whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter if this goes through walls quite so much. It's like if I heard a sound, I might look in the direction it is, even if there was a wall in the way. I don't know. Maybe I'm actually quite stupid. Anyway. I think this ought to work. We will want him also to turn in the direction. The direction of the distraction, so let's put on a look at rotator. Kind of make the max distance a little bit lower. Don't turn down the X strength, that was an accident. And we'll just set it to follow distraction. You do want to turn off the Y strength though, because we don't want him pointing up in the air. Also set it to stay upright, and we're going to use grid snap to turn the arrow forward. I think that should do it. The speed is something we can adjust later if need be. And that should do nicely. Let's just go ahead and give this a little try. Also, I'm going to add a little light to this particular scene, because I feel like if this was a real game, there'd be searchlights and things, and they tend to want you to see the enemies, so the enemies will be in lit areas. It's you who hangs out in the dark. Now, it's true that you could actually distract the guard into seeing you, but I think that's somewhat realistic, and other games do employ this. Now, say we wanted to... let's set up a scenario where we can kind of get past this lummox. Sneak by him, if you will. There you go. Now, of course, you have to plan out your encounters when you're doing this sort of thing, but that's game development for you. I think that's pretty good, you know, not a bad distraction system. You could even have him go to where it is if you wanted. We could try that out. As a little addendum, I think I'll just go ahead and add in the ability to make him go where the thing, you know, fell. We'll make it nice and slow. I think the easiest way to do this is a, what do you call it, a mover. And you're going to want to kind of think around your other logic, like if you alert him, it has to shut off all this other stuff, but I think we can do that okay. And we're going to make this really slow. And we're going to turn off Y strength. And turn down dampening and such to 50%. I think that ought to work nicely. I don't know how this is going to look in practice. He might look a little stiff and weird. Oh, wait a minute. We got seen. Didn't seem to move at all. It might be that he doesn't have enough power. You do want to leave dampening down though, otherwise he can float over pits and things like that. Well, he kind of seemed to move toward it, but it was a bit weird. Let's have a brief moment where he shuts off his... We'll shut off his detectors briefly. Just a little interim. See if that helps. I think I will make it slower. Let's try 5. Too slow. Let's try 1. I don't get why he's having such jerky movements. Might be that he's seeing us. That could be a possibility. Oh, it could also be his pathfinding needs to kind of be shut off just a little bit during this period. Oh, wait a minute. We don't want to shut it off here, we want to shut it off right there. I think I might also extend his, let's make it 3 and see how that works. His pathfinding still seems to be working somehow. Could be detection also. Let's see if that takes it out, if we have to turn off everything. See, I don't understand how this is even working, because he's not even capable. I don't get it. Oh, I think I know what it is. The timeline is probably restarting. So all we gotta do, stick that in there. Yeah, that should probably work. We may be making him just a little bit too dumb, but we'll see. Baffling to me. Maybe it's in poses? See, it doesn't even seem viable to me that he would be able to, because his pathfinding is off. We could always do this. I don't know if this is going to help, but if you put a switch here, because some of this stuff it plays and it still works even after it's off. So we'll try putting a switch in there so that when this is turned off, the power to those objects is turned off. Could be his his walkable slope angle. Should probably got an extra idea. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Oh, that just outright got his attention. See, this doesn't even seem possible. Maybe it's... Oh, I know what it might be. Maybe he's having trouble reaching it. And therefore, we need a little drop-off. Same with the look. Well, there we just, you know, alerted him. Do we have this facing in the right direction? Yeah, it's facing in the right direction. And this is almost powered on instantly. I feel like we almost have to go in here directly and sabotage pathfinding. Which seems strange, but evidently it's necessary. Well, that seems to have fixed the problem largely, so I think we'll go ahead and go with that. If I discover any ways to improve it, I'll be sure to tell you in the future installments. But for now, we're going to give a shout out to our monthly supporters on Ko-fi. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss another video. If you wish to support our earnest insanity, you can check the links in the description to donate or buy merch. Until next time, goodbye.